Hello and welcome everyone to this fresh week of the PBE. We are going to kick things off with our All-Star games here momentarily. We'll have both majors and minor league teams, All-Star teams that is, going to battle along with a few other sim games. So let's just take a look at the schedule here while we're on the topic. We have two All-Star games, a bunch of quick sims after that. Then we're going to have Primetime 1 Seattle facing the Indianapolis Apex in Indy. Toronto and Boise going to do battle, this one in Idaho. And then Lunar Base Space Rangers take on the Detroit Demons. Do I sound like a robot? Huh? Is it bad? What? Hopefully not. Or is that just a robo thing? Anyway, I don't know. It is what it is. All right, yeah. So Demons and Space Rangers finish off the night. So we got a lot of stuff to get through today. Taking a look at recent milestones here. James Lutz of the San Antonio Sloths with 150 home runs. Whiskey Fuse of the Providence Crabs just hit 150 home runs. Cole Kim of the Outer Banks Aviators with 25 triples to hit the career point. 75 wins for Mano Wright, the Lunar Base Space Rangers. Anthony Parco of the New York Voyagers hit 1,000 strikeouts. And Giuseppe Jones, Death Valley Scorpions starting pitcher, hits 1,750 strikeouts. We could have some milestones coming up here as My Cool has just subbed. Almost a year, My Cool. Let's go. 250 home runs for Max Power, who has entered the chat. There's three away from that 250 mark. TGP is 2 home runs away from 200. Max Power also 1 run away from 600. Probably going to hit that this sim. Osmandi's Albies 2 walks away from 350. Sportsboy 57 still chasing that elusive 125 wins. San Antonio 1 win away from 100 total career wins. Brandon Marr of the Toronto Pathfinders 1 save away from 75 saves. Not a normal statistic here in the PBE or a common one. And Tyler Rogowski of the Detroit Demons 1 save away from 50 saves in the career. Pax Torrent just 1 likely start away from 1,500 innings pitched there with the Providence Crabs. So let's get to our regularly scheduled broadcast. We're going to have some All-Star games to get things going. We're going to advance the day and do our obligatory crash. All is right in the PBE world. So just 1 second while I get this going again. And we are back. Nothing changed. All right, let's advance today and get to the All-Stars, Legends, and Champions. We'll get a prediction going here. If there's a moderator, maybe just get a prediction up. Or I can do it too, I guess. Who will win? All right. Legends, Champions. Here's a look at your All-Star starters. I have no idea how they're determined, but here they are. You're going to have a lot of people playing out of position as well. Wager your channel points, folks. Who will win? 2 teams are going to be very... these are the best of the best going at it, so... I can't really say who is going to come out ahead, but how about Amelia Milligan there? Is this Milligan's second season here with the Apex and making the All-Star team. That's crazy. Great season to this point. One of the younger All-Stars here playing. Zane Cold, pretty young first baseman there for the Sloths, starting as well. After this, we're going to have the minor league All-Stars, so stick around. And like I said, we got 3 primetime games tonight as well, so busy PBE night. It's baseball time indeed. I_Pazuzu. Take some more indie wins. All right. I'm game. I think you guys are on stream first. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Hugh Mann dealing to Mike Forbes Jr. to get things going in our S43 All-Star game. Everyone's hot hitting on the Champions Conference side. That's almost everyone. That's crazy. And our first pitch is underway. And that is going to be a grounder to the shortstop by James Dion. 2 up, 2 down for the Legends. Bellick Cove draws the walk. And is going to steal second. And the ball's going to get past the shortstop. So Cove sitting on third. Pilsudski with a single will score him and do so. Ball was trapped. So Josef Pilsudski knocks in the first run of the day. Lenny long pipe up, bounces out into the fielder's choice. And that will do it. So Legends get 1 run off a little small ball. We'll see if the Champions have a response. What can I say except you're welcome? The starter in this one. And Oregon's going to line out hard to right field. That's 1 down. Greenwall pops this one way up high. Caught by the shortstop behind second. That's 2 up, 2 down. And Max Power grounds out to the shortstop for out number 3. 1, 2, 3. Champions not putting up much of a fight in that inning. Legends Zach Johnson Jr. of the Toronto Pathfinders due up as Postcott has entered the game pitching. Hugh Mann started this one, and that's going to be a line out by Johnson to center. Whiskey Fuse is up.
Strike 3.
And Whiskey Fuse will strike out swinging. So 2 outs now. Bob Babbitt-Person, switch hitting second baseman of the Aviators. Going to fly out to right, and that is out number 3. So Postcott making everyone go down quietly. We head to the bottom of the second. Jake Kulik-Warren, one of the many DVS representatives, set to go. And that is high off the wall. That should be good for extra bases. Jake Kulik-Warren, JKW, as nobody calls him, is going to have a sliding double off of Josh Berger here. And that is going to be a bloop hit. Do they send Jake Kulik-Warren? No. So Zodiac Blue Sky, no RBI, but runners at the corners, nobody out. Great opportunity. Larry B. Burnside's going to get an infield single. Shortstop late or not too strong on the throw, I guess. And we're all tied up at 1 apiece. Rusty Salmon gets this one past the third baseman. Do they send the runner? They do. And safe is Blue Sky getting those wheels at the DH position. Champions out in front now, 2-1 with nobody out in the bottom of the second. Josh Berger still out there. He's going to get Gladdy Verrett to line out to second. That's 1 down. Runners have to hold. And more small ball. Milligan coming up big. That is an RBI single for Amelia Milligan. scoring Larry B. Burnside, who kind of got this inning triggered. 3-1 lead, 1 out in the bottom of the second. Arthur Morgan's going to bounce out into the 4-6 fielder's choice. And then Morgan trying to steal second gets thrown out by Lenny Longpipe. So the Champions put a crooked number up, take the lead 3-0. We go to the top of the third. Zane Cold leading things off for the Sloss. Vuitton Tentacion going to be in pitching for the Champions. And Forbes Jr. up with 1 out, flies out to center. 2 up, 2 down for the Legends. And then James Dion is going to get on via an error. Second error for the Champions. Hasn't really hurt them, though. Dion stealing second, bringing up teammate Bellick Cove, but Cove bounces out to the second baseman for out number 3 that cannot capitalize with a runner in scoring position. So it'll go to Greenwall and the Champions with a 2-run lead still. Crabston to Potsons entered the game for the pitching side of things for the Legends. And that is going to be an error. So it looks like an error on the throw. Runner gets the second. Max Powers up. Going to get this one way deep. Does the runner tag? Yes. So Greenwall sitting on third with 1 out, and Jake Kulikorn's up. Kulikorn had that big double earlier as Jake Kulikorn draws the walk. So runners at the corners, 1 out, and Zodiac Blue Sky will draw the walk. Bases juice for Larry B. Burnside, who gets a single to left. That's going to score 1. That's going to score 2. Sliding in head first, safe. 5-1 lead. The Champions starting to pull away here. Rusty Salmon Arms is up, and we'll get a hit up the middle. That is going to be an RBI single for Rusty Salmon Arms. So Champions now with a 6-1 lead as DePotson's getting absolutely annihilated out here. Gladiatorero strikes out swinging. That is out number 2. Bringing up Amelia Milligan. 1 hit today. Make it 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs as Larry B. Burnside safe at home. 7-1 lead. And the Champions maybe not done yet. Morgan's up. Runners moving on the pitch, but Arthur Morgan's going to fly out to right to end the rally. Champions strike for 4 in this inning. They lead 7-1 as we go to the top of the 4th. Legends Josef Pilsudski with the lone RBI is up and is going to draw a walk on Nova Montaigne, who's entered the game. Long pipe trying to go deep. This one, pretty good ride, but caught at the warning track in right center. And stolen base attempt squandered. Pilsudski thrown out at second. Zach Johnson Jr. on a big hack ends the inning. Legends with 1 hit through 4 full innings and 1 run to show for it. Champions 7-1 lead. It's raking the lake. Pinch hitting now is up. Lewis Hyon Randall Jr. pitching here. And that is going to be a leadoff single for Rake in the Lake. Full count for Granholm, who's pinch hitting. Going to bounce out into the 6-4 fielder's choice. Kulikorn's been on fire today, but before that, Granholm's going to steal second. And Jake Kulikorn's going to draw the walk again. Bringing up Zodiac Blue Sky. Oh, no, excuse me, Rake Slammer. Rake Slammer, runners at the corners, 1 out. Hits this one over the center fielder. James Dion can't get to it, and that is going to be an RBI double by Rake Slammer. 8-1 lead now in the bottom of the 4th. Larry B. Burnside lines it directly to the first baseman. That is out number 2, and then strikeout by Salmon Arms ends the inning. Top of the 5th we go. It's going to be Whiskey Fuse leading things off for the Legends as Beta Chappers entered the game. And Whiskey Fuse going back, and gone. A solo home run. Not quite a tape measure shot, but it counts all the same. 391 feet. You'd like to see that with runners on if you're the Legends, but they're on the board for 2 now. Bob Babbitt person watches strike 3 go by. Out number 1 in this top of the 5th. Zane Cold is going to get a single up the middle. 1 on, 1 out for Danny Brennan here, who flies out to right. That is out number 2. And then Dinamite rounds out to the shortstop for out number 3. So 2-8 now. Legends scoring on a solo homer. But Champions well out in front. Jacques Toussaint's come on to pitch. See if Toussaint can keep the Champions bats quiet. Gladdy Varero leads things off with a fly out to center. Now, Tony Sims up, and Sims will get a single up the middle. Kuma has entered the game as a pinch hitter, and Kuma's going to pop out in foul territory. 2 down, 1 out on for Rake in the Lake. And that is going to be a 5-4 fielder's choice. So the first time in a while the Champions bat's gone quiet. So we move to the top of the 6th. Bellick Cove leading things off. That's going to be a walk. Cove drawing the walk. And then bring up Mr. Alligator. And Alligator grounds out into the 4-6-3 double play. Lenny Longpipe draws a walk with 2 outs. Zach Johnson Jr. going to be up to bat. No, it's going to be Joe Shiesty Jr., a different junior. And, wait, Longpipe was able to steal. And then Shiesty Jr. draws the walk. Whiskey Fuse is up, had that home run, but strikes out looking for out number 3. Bottom of the 6th we go. Granholm leading things off for the Champions Conference as Yoj Adov step foot on the mound. Granholm's going to have a blooper in front of the catcher, out number 1. Casey Vita, pinch hitting, is going to draw the walk. And that is going to be a stolen base by Casey Vita. Bottom of the 6th, it's Rake Slammer striking out swinging. Runner still on 3rd. Dog and M&M could knock him in, but is going to be a fly out to left, and that will do it. 8-2, last third of the game we go. Legends trailing by a bunch. Jordan Gonzalez for the Raptors has come on for the game. And Gonzalez is going to gap this one, his first plate appearance of the day. And Jordan Gonzalez has an easy standing double. Zane Cold up. And Cold is going to get this one over the left fielder. Looks like it was completely misread there by Dog and M&M, and that is an RBI double by Zane Cold. 3-5 ball game. Danny Brennan draws the walk, bringing up D. Namite. And, oh, we got a bunt. It does move 2 runners over for 1 out, I guess. So now it'll be Tunch Denstro pinch hitting and strikes out looking. Johnny Quest trying to get out of it. Mr. Alligator is going to pop this one up behind the mound, and that will end the 7th inning stretch. 3-8 is your score. Champions in the lead. They're back up to bat. And Jose 43 in the corner is going to line out to left. That is one quick one. Bailey Jones has come into the game for the first time. Pops out to right. That is out number 2. And then Tony Sims will pop up to the third baseman. So Bazooka Joe making real quick work of the Champions bats there. Top of the 8th we go. 3-8 game here as J.R. Frankenstero trying to pinch hit against C.C. Bouchard. And Frankenstero lines it directly to left field. That's 1 down.
Strike 3.
Joe Shiesty Jr. strikes out swinging. 2 up, 2 down for the Legends. And Whiskey Fuse still in the game is going to pop up to the first baseman. So not very competitive inning of offense for the Legends. Champions could be the last time to bat here. It's going to be Kuma leading things off. Jose Arcadio Buendia stepping into the game, and there's gonna be a double to the right center gap. Easy stand-up double by Kuma. Runner in scoring position, nobody out for Rake in the Lake. Rake in the Lake draws the walk. And that is going to be a bunt by Travis Granholm. Moves the runners over. Casey Vita up. 2 runners in scoring position. Vita pops this one up to left. Is it going to send the runner? They do.
Safe.
And safe. So the sac fly works. 9-3 now. Champions way out in front. Rake Slammer will enter the game. And Slammer is going to pop up. That will do it. Probably not looking too good for the Legends team. They trailed 9-3. Jordan Gonzalez leading things off for him. Cesar Ajuanje is going to get Jordan Gonzalez the ground out to the second baseman. 1 out quickly. Dan King Jr.'s up. Will fly out to left. That's 2 outs. And on the full count, Danny Brennan will draw the walk to keep the game alive. Dinamite's up. And Dinamite will fly out to center. Your champions win in emphatic fashion here, 9-3 over the Legends Conference in this All-Star exhibition game. Let's go look at the minor leagues now. We'll play that game and get a prediction going. Where's the minor league All-Star? Huh. Go to scores. I am in scores. Should be this one. Or was it, is it in the majors? I am in, what? I am in MIL PBE scores. It's in the upcoming schedule. This? Oh, okay. That's weird. That is bizarre. We'll do this. Of course, it's up tope. Alright, prediction is live. Over under 2.5 errors. Wager your channel points here. We've got minor league East versus West All-Stars. All I'm going to say is the West isn't ready for Calvin Cool Crab. What is this stadium? Count Longardo's Strong Badian Dictionary Full My Own Words Stadium? Is this some kind of reference to something? I see. Alright, last chance to get your predictions in. Over under 2.5 errors, and then after this we're going to have a real game played out. The Seattle Sea Serpents and Indianapolis Apex, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, all the girls you loved before pitching to Abigail Mills. As this looks more like Yankee Stadium than whatever it was called. And away we go. It's going to be Abigail Mills flying out to right. That is one down. And then a fly out to right by Unruly Rowdy Diamonds Are Clear Not Cloudy. That is going to be our first hit of the game. That is one of many Coves. And then Cove is going to steal second. Leonidas Ruiz strikes out, though. And nothing doing here by the West All-Stars. Chance Grove leading things off for the East. Playing third base as Jeff Salad is the pitcher. And Grove grounds out to the second baseman. One down. Gumby now bounces out to the first baseman to take it himself. 2 up, 2 down for Calvin Cool Crab, and Cool Crab draws the walk. Sterling Stern now will get this one to left, so that is 2 runners on, 2 out for Ben Kruger. And Kruger is going to leg out the infield single. Bases juice. Sobert Ramberg's up. And Rambert's going to get a single up the middle. That's going to score 1. Just going station to station. 1-0 ball game. The East has taken the lead. Neller Denstro is going to end things, though, with a fly out to right. And so despite a lot of base traffic, Jeff Salad's getting out of it with just 1 earned run. Top of the second we go. Pee Wee Matthews pitching for the East, dealing to Don Marcus of the Kansas City Hepcats. And that's going to be a quick ground out by Marcus to the second baseman. 1 down. Daniel Archer grounds out to the shortstop. 2 up, 2 down now. Scott McNeely, catcher for the Anchorage Wheelers, flies out to right center. And 1, 2, 3, the bats of the West go. Carl Beatty Jr. set to lead things off here for the East with Flan Reynolds of the Brew City Bears pitching now in this one. Carl Beatty Jr. grounds out to the shortstop, 1 out. And then it'll be Caius Kidd bouncing out to the second baseman. 2 quick outs for the East bats. Make it 3 quick outs. Chance Grove grounds out to the second baseman. Nothing at all for the East in that bottom of the second. We go to the top of the third with Joseph Jolly, California Firehawks, middle infielder, leading things off. And Jolly's going to ground out to the counterpart shortstop. 1 out. Tyler Toksum up, and Toksum lines out to the shortstop. Sterling Stern all over that play. 2 outs for Abigail Mills, and Mills grounds out to the shortstop as well. So a lot of work put in there by Sterling Stern. No runs at the top of the third. We go to the bottom of this inning. Gumby leading things off. Gumby giving this one a pretty good ride, but it's caught at the left field warning track. 1 down. Calvin Cool Crab's up. Line out directly to the center fielder Daniel Archer. And then Sterling Stern will watch a strike 3 go by. So Unak Liberth absolutely shutting down the East bats. Top of the fourth. Just a 0-1 game. Unruly Rowdy Diamonds are clear, not cloudy, is up first. And that is going to be a bounce out to the first baseman. I don't even want to try that name. That is out for number 2. And Leonidas Ruiz is going to keep the inning alive. That is a single.
Strike 3.
But Don Marcus watches strike 3 go by. Jose 43 getting it done in that top of the fourth for the East. Ben Kruger leading things off batting-wise as Carl Johnson is throwing. And Ben Kruger's going to bounce out to the second baseman. Still no errors to this point. Sobert Ramberg grounds out to the shortstop, so 2 up, 2 down for the East bats. Will we see a 1-0 game? I don't think so, as Neller Denstro goes yard. Home run over the left center wall, 430 feet. Crazy, crazy big shot there by Neller Denstro. And the East All-Stars of this minor league variety are now up 2-0. Carl Beatty Jr. lines out to center. That will end at 2-0, East in the lead. Archer leading things off for the West. As Mata has come into the game, immediately surrenders a base hit to Daniel Archer. So Scott McNeely now, failed bunt attempt. It's just going to swing the bat and get a singles. Maybe should have done that from the beginning. 2 runners on, nobody outs for Joseph Jolly. Everyone's not bunting very well. But Joseph Jolly grounds out into the 4-6 fielder's choice. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Tokes him up. Good RBI opportunities, and he's going to deliver. That is to the right field wall. That's going to score one, and it's going to score Joseph Jolly all the way from first base. 2 RBI double clutch bat by Tyler Tokesum. Kirby Bernard striking out with the runner on second, but then Walker Wallace is going to get a base hit, and that is going to be an RBI single by Wallace, scoring Tokesum. The West has taken the lead here in the top of the 5th. Some clutch hitting. Cove flies out to center, and that will do it. I don't think you can ban bunting. Cry's Kid is up the East, trailing by 1. This Kid grounds out to the shortstop. Chance Grove is going to get a single up the middle. And then Tex Justice Jr. is going to fly out to right. 2 outs, runner on. Calvin Cool Crab up. He gets a base knock. And Grove is going to be safe at third. Risky base running, but it pays off. So Sakoto's up, and that is going to be an RBI single. So Ichiban Sakuto ties it up in the bottom of the 5th. Ben Kruger, however, flies out to center, and that will do it. Top of the 6th, we are all knotted up here in this minor league all-star exhibition matchup. Leonidas Ruiz is going to fly out to center. That's 1 down. Chadwick McGillicuddy now drawing the walk on Quant Nicholas Jr. And then a liner by by Archer. Argent now up, but caught at the warning track for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Sobert Rambert up as Guy Manuel Lohr enters the game. And Rambert, after a failed bunt attempt, is going to ground out to the third baseman, 1 down. Archduke McCannon's up, and McCannon will ground out to the shortstop, 2 up, 2 down for the East. And Yoshi Yoshiroti pops up to the shortstop, so we go to the 7th, about two-thirds through this game, all knotted up. Do we have extras in the works? Joseph Jolly now as Chappie McChapperson deals, and that is a leadoff single by Joseph Jolly. Tyler Tokes him up, had some clutch play. We'll just bunt it this time, back to the pitcher, 1 down. Jolly now on second. And now they walk Steve Gonzalez Jr. intentionally. Walker Wallace in, grounds out into the 6-4-3 double play. So we're seeing pretty good defense here, actually. No errors to this point, and some double play balls, some diving grabs. East bats are up. Griffin Berry, the bottom of the 7th after the 7th inning stretch.
Strike 3.
Set to bat, and Magnus Force going to ring him up. Steele's turn now in the game is going to foul out to left field. 2 down for Tex Justice Jr. And that is going to be a grounder to the second baseman. 3 up, 3 down for the East bat. Still all tied up. We go to the top of the 8th. George Garbanzo entered the game. And Garbanzo is going to go yard. Didn't know if it would have the distance, but it carried well. 430 feet on a line. Garbanzo has given the West the lead here in the All-Star game. That ball was Gargonzo. Anyway, Ixon grounds out, bringing up Chadwick McGillicuddy, grounds out to the shortstop. Vince Whirlwind now will strike out swinging, so Heiderscheid gives up the potential go-ahead game-winning run here on the homer. Gets the rest of the inning to go down, though. East is up with Boog Barrow in the game. Starburns Glockenspiel pitches, and that's a lead-off base knock. You like it. You like it. Ichiban Sakuto, the hit today. Not going to get this one. That's a pop-up to the shortstop behind second. And Inez Cove giving this one a really good ride, but caught at the wall. And then, hold on, we got Quentin DeYoung over the wall. just over the wall. 2-run home run. The East reclaims their lead late in this one with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Quentin DeYoung, some clutch batting here. 5-4 is your score. Archduke McCannon will fly out to right for the last out of the 8th. And so now the West is playing from behind. Argent, Jolly, Toksum, see if they have any pinch hitters here, set to lead things off in what could be the last inning. Thomas Argent in as Apollo Hydes come on. And that is going to be a ground out to the second baseman. That's 1 quick out. Unique name. That's going to be a goner. Line drive home run over the right field wall. Unique name. That was a shot. Only 383 feet, but that was a sizzler. And we're all knotted up in the top of the 9th with Tyler Toksum up. Toksum flies out to center for out number 2. Steve Gonzalez Jr. now. And Gonzalez Jr. is going to keep the inning alive with a 2-out base hit. Go ahead, runner on first for Walker Wallace, but Wallace grounds out to the second baseman, and that will do it for the top of this final inning, maybe? Could see extras. Bottom of the 9th. Yoshironi leading things off against Steven Schlossberg. And that is going to be a fly out to center by Yoshironi. Griffin Berry now with 1 down, trying to do some work. And Berry flies out to the warning track. Did not have enough to walk it off there. Steel Stern grounds out to the catcher, and we've got extra innings. We've got extras. Niall Patterson leading things off here in the top of the 10th. And that is going to be a leadoff single by Patterson. Damian Thriller now is striking out. That's 1 down. Chadwick McGillicuddy draws the walk. Runners on first and second, 1 out for Vince Whirlwind, who gets this one past the first baseman. Do they send the runner? No. Base is juiced for Thomas Argent. And Argent grounds out into the 4-3 or 4-2 fielder's choice, excuse me.
Strike 3.
And then Unique Name strikes out swinging. So great RBI opportunities for the West. Do not capitalize. We're still 5-5 as we go to the bottom of the 10th. Tex Justice Jr. is going to fly out to left. That's 1 out. Boog Barrow now. Rounds out to the shortstop. That's 2 down. Ichiban Sakudo now. 2-2 count. Will fly out to the center fielder. So 1, 2, 3. The East bats go. We got more extras. It's the top of the 11th. And Tyler Toksum leading things off. Toksum grounds out to the first baseman. That's 1 out. Steve Gonzalez Jr. now. And Gonzalez Jr. grounds out to the second baseman. 2 up, 2 down for the West. Walker Wallace up. And Wallace flies out to center, so not very competitive offensive inning for the West All-Stars. East now due up with Anase Cove leading things off.
Strike 3.
And Cove strikes out looking. Goozer. Gotta get the strikeout as Miroslav Katil draws the walk. Thomas, Big Hurt Thomas, flies out to right. That is out number 2. Yoshironi up, flies out, pops out to the third baseman. Through 11 full innings, 5-5. Nobody wants to win this game now. We go to the top of 12. Niall Patterson leading things off for the West. Big hack on the 2-2, and that's a strikeout swinging as King Julian fans him. Damian Thriller now is going to get on base with an infield single, close play. 1 on, 1 out for McGillicuddy. Bounces out to the 4-6-3 double play, and that will do it for the top of the 12th. Bottom of the inning we go. Griffin Berry leading things off. And Gooser still out there. They might not have any pitchers left, actually. Yeah, they're out of pitchers. Steel Stern giving this one a ride, and gone! Steel Stern walks it off in the bottom of the 12th. to win the game for the East Division All-Stars. 6-5 is your final in this one. It was just a matter of time as both pitchers were out of gas. And that is it. So we are done with the All-Star games. We've got a few quick sims, then we're going to jump to Seattle versus Indy. So if we want to pay out the prediction, get one going for the Sea Serpents taking on the Apex next. Okay. I'm just going to check the schedule, make sure I'm not missing anything. I am not. So I feel pretty good. We go 1 day. We go 2 days. We go 3 days. We go to the day. Sea Serpents, Apex. Who you got? All right, I guess I'll do a prediction. Okay, just a quick prediction here. Who will score last in this one? The Apex or the Sea Serpents? Get your channel points in. Yeah, no, there weren't games on the quick sim days, so that's why you didn't have time. I guess I could probably turn BNN back on, huh? Do that. All right. We got Stun Gun pitching against Cookie in this matchup. Champions matchup. Both teams kind of hovering around 500. Apex has already been bribing me to get them more wins this season. So I told them that they'd have to talk to the man upstairs. That's Enoch because I live in his basement. And here we go. First pitch underway. Stun gun. Dealing to Shane Knox. All the Oni. Yep. Paz is giving me all the Oni here. And we're going to start this one off with a loud hit. Shane Knox over center fielder Jacques Hammer. And that is going to be a lead-off double by Knox. Miss is up, and Shy missing the full count. Grounds out to the shortstop. 1 down.
Strike 3.
Strike out swinging Houston Hayes, victim to Sun Gun here. Runner still in scoring position for Alyssa Jacob, and Jacob flies out to right to end the top of the first, so Seattle can't do anything with a lead-off double. We go to the bottom of the inning. Jacques Hammer leading things off for the Indianapolis Apex. Cookie getting the starting nod, and Cookie's immediately going to surrender a walk. Tough AB there. Judah the Jew gets a single. Home run derby champion, if I'm not mistaken. Getting a base hit, runner in first and second, nobody out. And hold on, we got trouble. Nate Nitro draws a walk with bases juice. Koala Kyle up, strikes out swinging. That was a big one for Cookie to get out of. Curtis McKenzie now will pop up to shallow center. They don't send the runner. 2 outs. Amelia Milligan's up, and Milligan grounds out to the pitcher. So Cookie works out of the jam after a couple walks and a hit. The Apex don't score. 0-0 as we go to the top of the second. Harley Quinn's up, and now Harley Quinn is going to fly out to right. That's 1 down. Piranha Plant up and gets this one past. Koala Kyle's outstretched arms. That's a runner on first for Webster Rajka. Rajka hot off the bat, over the right field wall and gone. A home run, 2-run shot by Webster Rajka to give the Seattle Sea Serpents a 2-0 lead in the top of the second. A lot of twos going on there. With 1 out now, it is Theo Allard, and Allard flies out to center.
Strike 3.
And Chris Angel will strike out as they final out in the top of the second, but Seattle's striking for 2. We go to the bottom of this inning. Cal Pico for the Apex leading things off. And Pico's going to ground out to the third baseman. That is 1 down. Mudcat Skelton now will bounce this one back to the pitcher. Cookie maybe knocks it down with his foot there. And for out number 3, Alescu is the victim. Cookie gets strikeout number 2. We go to the top of the third. Seattle with a 2-0 lead, trying to add some more run insurance. Knox is going to strike out looking on the full count. Stun gun deals, and that is going to roll all the way to the wall. That is good for extra bases. Shy and Miss is not stopping at second with a triple. 1 out triple by Miss. See if Houston Hayes can knock him in, and Hayes will do that. Does get thrown out at first, though, but a 3-0 lead now for the Seattle Sea Serpents with 2 outs in the top of the third. Jacob grounds out to the shortstop for out number 3, and that will do it for this half inning. Bottom of the third, only 1 hit to this point for the Indianapolis Apex. Jacques Hammer can change that. Not going to get a hit, but will get on base with that walk. So 1 on, nobody out for Judah the Jew. And Hammer steals second. Is in there safe. Judah the Jew gap shots this one. Make it 2 for 2 on the day. And that is good for an RBI. RBI double by Judah the Jew. And it's now Apex on the board for 1. They still trail by 2. Nate Nitro's up. And Nitro also going to gap this one. That's going to go to the right center wall. And they trade places. RBI double for Nate Nitro. 2-3 game here in Indy. Apex trying to make some noise in this bottom of the third. Koala Kyle grounds out to the shortstop. That's 1 out. Then Curtis McKenzie strikes out swinging. So a couple strikeouts here, or outs with runner in scoring position. Amelia Milligan gets robbed of a hit in left field. Webster Rajka laying out for that one. Maybe check his teeth. Looks like he hit the ground hard. 2-3 as we go to the top of the fourth. Seattle now just with a 1-run lead. Harley Quinn trying to start a rally. That is a leadoff single up the middle. You like that? Full count to Piranha Plant, who strikes out looking. Stun gun up to 4 strikeouts now. And no help from the defense there. It is Skelton, Mudcat Skelton mishandling that. Runners on first and second, 1 out, and that's a hit up the middle by Theo Allard. They do not send the runner, though. Bring up Chris Angel, and Chris Angel grounds out into the 5-4-3 double play. So the Apex get out of the jam. They've done that a couple times here. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Cal Pico leading things off. Cookie still out there for the Sea Serpents. Gets Cal Pico to fly out to deep center. 1 out. And then Mudcat Skelton grounds out to the third baseman. That is 2 down. Alexander Alescu Rounds out to the third baseman. 1, 2, 3. The Apex bats go. We go to the top of the fifth. Shane Knox is up. Had that double earlier. Gonna fly out to left. That's one down. Shy miss now. Gets robbed of a hit. Great extension by Koala Kyle catching it on the line. And Houston Hayes will strike out to end the inning. So stun gun giving up 3 through 5 with 5 strikeouts. Now we go to Jacques Hammer with Apex. Drew a couple of walks. Strikes out looking this time. Didn't like the call, I don't think. Now Jew the Jew is going to ground out to the second baseman. That is out number 2. Nate Nitro rounds out to the shortstop. So quick work of the Apex bats here in the bottom of the 5th. We go to the top of the 6th. Seattle leads 3-2. And that is going to be an Alyssa Jacobs single up the middle. Lead off single for the Sea Serpents. Nobody out. Harley Quinn also gets this one past Mudcat Skelton. Hold on, we got runners at the corners. And that is going to be a line out to left. Do they send the runner? Yes, and he's safe. So Piranha Plant with a sacrifice fly to score. Alyssa Jacob, 1 out.
Strike 3.
Webster Rochko strikes out swinging, though. That'll make it 2 down. Runner still on
Strike
first,
3.
and a large strikes out. So stun gun giving up a run on the sac fly. Hasn't really given up the long ball, though. Just been kind of Babbitt out there. And now Cassius Bright in the game. So Cookie's day is done. Not a bad outing, though. 5 full and 2 earned. It's going to get Koala Kyle to ground out. Curtis McKenzie up. And McKenzie's going to fly out to right. That's 2 down. 0-2 count to Amelia Milligan, who strikes out swinging. So we go to the top of the 7th. Apex trailing by a couple. Seattle trying to pour it on. Chris Angel leading things off for the Sea Serpents. And Chris Angel's going to ground out to the first base, or to the pitcher. 1 down. Shane Knox grounds out to the third baseman. 2 down now. And that ball by miss is going to be high and deep, but caught in center field by Jacques Hammer. 1, 2, 3. The Sea Serpents go. Stun gun still out there for 7 full innings. We'll see if they keep him out there. Cal Pico's entered the game for the, or leading things off with the Apex, and that is going to be a strikeout swinging. Cassius Bright trying to shut the door. Mudcat Skelton going to hit this one way into foul territory. And then follow things up with a strikeout. 2 outs now for Alescu. And that is going to be on base via an error. Error by Theo Allard, but it doesn't come back to haunt him. Jacques Hammer strikes out swinging. So Cassius Bright with 2 innings and 4 strikeouts. Hasn't allowed a hit, hasn't allowed a walk, or hasn't walked anyone, I should say. We go to the top of the 8th. Seattle in the lead 4-2 as Kevin McThumpers entered the game, getting Houston Hayes to strike out. 1 down for Alyssa Jacob. Jacob's going to pop up in foul territory. Jew the Jew on top of that. Or underneath it, I should say. And then Harley Quinn is going to get robbed of a hit in right field. Sliding grab by Cal Pico to end the inning. Been kind of quiet for both teams the last few innings. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Indy trailing by 2. Jew the Jew going to go opposite of the shift there. And that is going to be a sliding double. His 3rd hit of the day, 2nd double. Good start for the Apex with Nate Nitro now up. Nitro gives this one a ride, but it's directly at the left fielder. 1 down. And that is going to be a Koala Kyle fly out to center. 2 outs for Curtis McKenzie now. And McKenzie grounds out to the second baseman. That is out number 3. We go to the top of the 9th. Seattle up 4-2, trying to add some more runs. Indy running out of time. Piranha Plant on the 1-2. Watch a strike 3 go by from McThumper. Webster Rochka now. Rochka will fly to left. Round number 2, bring up Theo Allard. And Allard will watch strike 3 go by. So, Indianapolis Apex's Amelia Milligan going to lead things off. They trail by 2. Need 2 just to send it to extras here as Cece Bouchard's entered the game for the Sea Serpents.
Strike 3.
Milligan strikes out on the big hack. That's 1 down. Now Cal Pico up. Draws the walk. So, game tying runner at the plate. And Mudcat Skelton's going to get this one to the right center gap. Hold on. We got Cal Pico at third. Mudcat Skelton at second. Leskew's up to bat. Bouchard walks Alescu. Bases loaded for Jacques Hammer now. Hammer is going to fly out to the center fielder. Too shallow for runners to come. And Judah the Jew grounds out to the second baseman to end the game. Apex making it very interesting at the end, but Bouchard able to shut out the noise, and the Sea Serpents will win 4-2 here in Indianapolis. Quite a few Apex left on base. Yep. Quite a few of them. And it'll be the Seattle Sea Serpents starting pitcher, Cookie, getting player of the game. Let's take it around the league here. Aviators win at home over the Boise Raptors 6-2. Bob Babbitt, person, your player of the game. Outer Banks' second baseman getting it done there. Buffalo Surge went 4-2 over the San Antonio Sloths. It'll be Dolores Clifton, Buffalo's starting pitcher, getting the win and is your player of the game. New York Voyagers win 3-2 over the Vancouver Vandals. Johnny Patey V2 is going to be your player of the game in this one. They get the win for the Voyagers. And as expected, the Toronto Pathfinders win 3-1 over the Providence Crabs. Player of the game in this one, All-Star starter. What can I say except you're welcome. Nearly going the distance there, getting the win. Champions Conference, it was the Cancun Toros winning 4-2 over the Detroit Demons. Ike Sampson is going to be your player of the game. Cancun starting pitcher, getting the win. Lunar Base Space Rangers shut out the Rougarou. 11-0 victory for the Space Rangers. HOR Hypocrites getting the win in the start for Lunar Base. It'll be Death Valley winning on the road, shutting out the Stars 5-0. Player of the game in this one, Max Power of the Death Valley Scorpions. And we saw that one, so let's move over to the minor league games. Puerto Rico Ranas winning 4-3 over the State College Swift Steeds. Player of the game in this one is Griffin Berry. Anchorage Wheelers win 3-2 over the Kansas City Hepcats. And it's like, what is it? Habs fan from Ontario backwards, maybe? It's HFO, or I don't remember who it is. Anyway, I think it's HFFO, right? Anyway. Louisville Lemurs win 7-6 against the Amarillo Armadillos, although Dillos made it pretty close at the end. I don't know what a Habs is. Player of the game in this one, Neller Denstro of the Louisville Lemurs. Or Yeah. Brew City wins 1-0. Very close game. They shut out the Florida Flamingos. Oh, it's the okay. I see. Looks like player of the game in this one, Robert Green, Florida starter, pitching well, but taking the loss. California Firehawks 6-4 victory over the Chicago Kingpins. Player of the game in this one, Unruly Rowdy Diamonds are clear, not cloudy. Okay, let's check out the schedule. We're going to have another couple quick sims, and then it's going to be Toronto taking on the Boise Raptors, Primetime 2, coming up in a few sim days. Here we go. All right, and we do a little quick sim in here. It'll be the Outer Banks Aviators winning 6-5 in the bottom of the 10th over the Boise Raptors. Bob Babbitt person, once again, your player of the game in this contest. Buffalo Surge win 10-4 over the San Antonio Sloths. De'Aaron Taylor is your player of the game in this contest for the Buffalo Surge. Vancouver Vandals knock off the New York Voyagers 7-6, thanks to 3 runs in the top of the ninth. Dan King Jr., your player of the game in this one. And as expected, the Toronto Pathfinders win in Providence 3-2. Player of the game in this one, Toronto starter Orion Thrasserson. No decision there, but the Pathfinders get the win. The FI Scorpions win on the road against the Nashville Stars 7-2. Player of the game, Ryan Stryker Jr., DVS starter, getting the win in the start for the Scorpions. Lunar Base wins again. I did a double take there. It's 11-0 shutout once more over the New Orleans Rougarou. Player of the game, right in the dirt. Giving up 10 hits, but going the complete game and getting the win. Seattle Sea Serpents win in extras over the Indianapolis Apex. 5-4 victory, thanks to, looks like Alyssa Jacob, the go-ahead home run in the top of the 10th. Alyssa Jacob is your player of the game as Seattle used a lot of pitchers. Did they use a starter? Or is that just everyone? That's just everyone. Demons win at home, cooling off the Toros finally. They win 7-4. Player of the game in this one, Glaber Torres of the Detroit Demons. Let's check out the minor leagues. California Firehawks win 7-3 over the Chicago Kingpins. Chadwick McGillicuddy, your player of the game in this one for the Firehawks. in the win. Armadillos win 7-2 on the road against the Louisville Lemurs. Player of the game, Abigail Mills. Mills play for? Oh, yeah, Dillos. Yep. Anchorage Wheelers win 7-4 over the Kansas City Hepcats. They're back to 500 now. We do have a prediction up, everyone. So, will the game be tied at the end of the fourth inning? I assume. So, yes or nah. Player of the game in this one is going to be Habs fan. They will just call him HFO. We'll just call him H. Maybe we should call him OFFH. We'll call him OFFH. Flamingos win 6-1 over the Brew City Bears. Ichiban Sakudo going to be your player of the game in this one. Puerto Rico Rana shut out the Swift Seeds 4-0. Merzis Berezowski is going to be your player of the game in this one. All right. And I believe we have one more quick sim. I'm not sure if we have any games that day or not. We do in the minors. We'll just advance, actually. No majors games. We do have some minor league games, though, and then we will get to our next live stream game, which is going to be the Toronto Pathfinders and Boise Raptors. Brew City Bears win in extras 9-6 over the Flamingos. It's going to be Colton James, your player of the game in this matchup. Lemurs win 4-3, walking it off against the Amarillo Armadillos. Jeff Salad, Dillo starter, no decision there. Amarillo takes the loss, but Salad, your player of the game. Chicago Kingpins walk it off at the bottom of the 10th over the California Firehawks. 8-7 victory for them. A reminder again, get your channel points wagered for this prediction here. We'll have Pathfinders and Boise coming up shortly. Unruly Rowdy Diamonds are clear, not cloudy. Your play of the game for the Firehawks in this one, despite the loss. State College Swifties win 4-2. Player of the game is going to be Hingle McCringleberry of the Swifties in the win. And finally, Wheelers and Hepcats, Kansas City wins 5-2. George Garbanzo, your player of the game here for the Hepcats in the victory. All right. Let's go ahead and get ready for our fourth game of the night. Where are we at? Here we go. Raptors, Pathfinders. I'll just save quick. Last chance to get your predictions in. All right. First pitch coming up shortly. Looks like we're in for a competitive one. Neymar Cove pitching to Dynamite. And it's going to be Dynamite flying out to center. That's one down. Pretty good hit ball, but it hangs up at the warning track. Pilsudski flies out to left. Two down. Zach Johnson Jr. is going to fly out to left. And that's out number 3. So 1, 2, 3, the Pathfinder bats go. Jordan Gonzalez due up to start out the bottom of the first. In this one to pitch, Starscream has had a bit of a rougher season and is going to surrender a hit to Jordan Gonzalez down the count. Watch out for Gonzalez stealing second here. Jordan takes off and he's in there safely. And it's going to be corner vacuum going opposite field. Home run, 2-run shot here by corner vacuum on Starscream. 2-0 ball game. Papa Emeritus the first. Playing shortstop is going to line out to the third baseman. One down. And then Xavier McMagic going yard. Right center field deep. Home run. Solo bomb. 413 feet to give the Boise Raptors a 3-0 lead. Barry Allen now flies out to right. That is 2 down. And then Why Not Cove rounds out to the shortstop. That is 3 down. Top of the second we go. Kendrick Mills is up for the Pathfinders.
Strike 3.
And Mills watches strike 3 go by from Cove. 1 down. Kevin Larson now. And I think, what is his last season? Larson going deep, deep, and gone. Dead center bomb. Solo homer by Kevin Larson. 434 feet. Toronto on the board for 1. Harvey Brinkley Jr. is going to get a single to right. 1 out knock, bringing up DH Bob Catter. And then Bob Catter's going to ground out into the 1-4 fielder's choice to get the lead runner at second. Mo Love grounds out to the first baseman, takes himself, and that will end the inning, or the top of the second. 1-3, Toronto scoring on the solo homer. The Micah Williams leading things off. Williams going to strike out. 1 down in the bottom of the second. Dennis Multoid Man grounds out to the first baseman. 2 down. And Binker Matavich will almost do the same exact thing as Multoid Man. 1, 2, 3, the Raptors bats go. Starscream calming down a bit here in the bottom of the second. We go to the top of 3. Toronto trailing on the road. 1-3.
Strike 3.
Jeff Lewis watches strike 3 go by. That's out number 1, bringing up the top of the order, Dynamite. On the 2-0, Dynamite grounds out to the shortstop. 2 down. Josef Pilsudski, big hack, and a strikeout swinging. So, Neymar Cove, 3 innings, just 1 earned, and 3 strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the third with Jordan Gonzalez leading things off. Gonzalez going to have another base knockdown in the count. And Gonzalez, as expected, takes off for second. Runner in scoring position for corner vacuum of that 2-run homer earlier. Big hack there for out number 1, though. We go to Papa. And he is going to ground out to the third baseman. That's 2 down. Runner in second for McMagic, and McMagic strikes out looking. We head to the top of the 4th. Toronto trailing by 2. Zach Johnson Jr. is up. And that is a strikeout swinging by Johnson Jr. 1 down. Kendrick Mills is up. And Mills strikes out swinging for out number 2. Kevin Larson had that home run earlier, is going to leg out an infield single. That old man speed. Runner on first, 2 down. Harvey Brinkley Jr. will fly out to center for out number 3. So Neymar Cove pitching pretty well in this one. 4 innings with 5 strikeouts. 1 earned. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Boise hasn't scored since the first inning, but they still had the lead 3-1. Barry Allen's going to strike out. 1 down. Why not Cove is going to ground out to the shortstop. 2 down. Michael Williams is going to get this one past the outstretched arms of Brinkley Jr. And then Multoid Man's going to get a single. That's going to put runners at third and second. Binker McTavish up, but McTavish strikes out swinging, so Starscream gets out of the jam. No runs across despite the base traffic. We go to the top of the 5th. It'll be Bob Catter, DH, leading things off.
Strike 3.
Catter strikes out in the big hack. That's a 1 down. Mo Love trying to get off the cold streak here. Strikes out. So Neymar Cove up to 7 strikeouts now. Jeff Lewis is up, and Jeff Lewis grounds out immediately to the shortstop. 1-2-3, the Pathfinders bats go. Bottom of the 5th. Jordan Gonzalez leading things off. Gonzalez is going to ground out to the third baseman. Has to get over quickly because Gonzalez has got those wheels. Corner vacuum also grounds out to the first baseman. 2 up, 2 down. And Papa will strike out swinging. So Starscream on cruise control these last few innings. We head to the top of the 6th. Dinamite leading things off. Namite lines it to center. That's 1 down. Bring up Josef Pilsudski. And Pilsudski gets a 1-out base knock. Zach Johnson Jr. up. And Johnson Jr. grounds out into the 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. Boise remains in the lead 3-1 with a chance to extend it here in the bottom of the 6th. Xavier McMagic taking this one high, but caught by Damite in center. Didn't have to move much. Barry Allen strikes out swinging. 2 outs for Inez Cove, or excuse me, Why Not Cove.
Strike 3.
And Cove will strike out swinging. So both teams' offenses have been really, really quiet here last few innings. We go to the top of the 7th. We'll see if it changes with Kendrick Mills up. And Mills is going to get this one to right field. That's good for a single. Neymar Cove still out there. See how long they keep him. And, whoa, we've got a wild pitch. Runner at second. That ball pretty hot off the bat by Larson. And Larson will get the home run. Just barely over the left field wall, 360 feet. Ties it up. Larson's 2nd home run of the day. Josh Berger now enters the game. Trying to keep it a tie game as Harvey Brinkley Jr. is up. Brinkley Jr. will draw the walk. 1 on, nobody out for Bob Catter. Catter strikes out, kind of the half check swing there. And now, Mo Love off the bat. It was gone. 2-run bomb. Toronto has taken the lead in this one. The Mo Love 2-run homer to left center. Maybe getting off the cold streak. Big shot to 435 feet. Jeff Lewis with 1 out. He's going to gap this one. Now the Toronto bats are waking up, as that is going to be a stand-up double by Jeff Lewis. Dinamite is up, and that's going to be a bloop single to center. Do they send Lewis? They do. Dinamite's got an RBI single. 6-3 now. Toronto's exploded for 5 runs in this top of the 7th. Dinamite stealing second, but caught easily by Xavier McMagic. 2 down. As Franklin Judge Cruisers entered the game, Pilsudski's going to slap this one opposite field to left center for a sliding double. Zach Johnson Jr. now up. And Zach Johnson Jr. flies out to left to end the rally. It'll be a 6-3 ball game now as we enter the 7th inning stretch. Micah Williams leading things off for the Raptors here in the bottom half of the inning. And that is going to be an infield single by Micah Williams. And another single up the middle by Multoid Man. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Good RBI opportunity here for Binker McTavish. McTavish grounds out into the 3-6-1 double play. Michael Williams does come across the score. 4-6 ball game, but 2 outs now in the 7th. Nobody on. Jordan Gonzalez on the big hack. There, Starscream brings him up. And Starscream's day might be done. 4 earned, 7 innings pitched, and 9 strikeouts. Kendrick Mills draws the walk. 1 on. Now 2 on as they're pitching around Larson, who has 2 home runs today. Runners on first and second. Nobody out for Brinkley Jr. And Brinkley Jr. is going to leg out an infield single. Bases juice now for Bob Catter. Judge Cruiser in a bit of a pinch, but gets Catter to strike out. Mo Love up. Love with 1 homer is going to pop up infield fly rule. So now base juice still 2 outs. Jeff Lewis with a clutch hit. That's going to score 1, and that's going to score 2. A single to right extends the Toronto lead. It's now 8-4. Dinamite's up. And Namite is going to bloop a hit. That's going to be good for an RBI single. What do they call it? A double. Oh, they do call it a double. So 9-4 now with Pilsudski up, and Pilsudski gets on base. What a 2-out rally here by the Pathfinders. Zach Johnson Jr.'s up, but Tiny Chef will get him a fly out to right, and that will end the top of the 8th. Boise trailing by 5 after they were in control of the game for 6 full innings. It's going to be Corner Vacuum leading things off. And Vacuum's going to ground out to the third baseman. That's 1 out. Papa Emeritus the first is going to ground out to the second baseman. 2 up, 2 down. Xavier McMagic has a home run earlier. Is going to get a gap shot. That's good for extra bases. So a 2-out knock for Barry Allen. Runner in scoring position for him. Need to capitalize on this if you're Boise. J. Dr. Jr. trying to clamp it down and will do so. Ground out to the second baseman to end the 8th. Top of 9 we go. Toronto with 9 runs in this one. 8 of them coming in the last 2 innings. See if they add any more.
Strike 3.
Kendrick Mills is going to strike out looking. Now Larson's up, and Kevin Larson will strike out on the hack. So back-to-back Ks for Tiny Chef. Harvey Brinkley Jr. now is going to get a base hit with 2 outs. And Bob Catter is robbed of a hit, laying out in center as Michael Williams, and that will do it. Oh, watch that loner base Detroit game there. No runs, but bases juice in the bottom of the 10th for the Demons. Why not Cove leading things off for Boise? Quick ground out to short, that's not going to help. But then Michael Williams is going to get a 1-out single. Dennis Multoid Man up, and Multoid Man grounds out to the fielder's choice. They don't try to turn 2. So Binker McTavish now, as Mars come on the game for the last out. With Williams on second, McTavish flies out to right, and that is ball game. The Pathfinders storm back in the 7th and 8th to win 9-4 over the Boise Raptors. Player of the game in this one, Kevin Larson had a couple big home runs at some big moments, helping the Pathfinders win here in Boise. Let's take a look at the rest of the league. It is the Voyagers winning on the road 10-7, although Buffalo putting up some runs at the end of the inning. TGP for the Voyagers is going to be your player of the game in this one. The Providence Crabs win at home against the Outer Banks Aviators 4-2. And we do have a prediction up for our last game of the day. Lunar Base and Detroit Demons. Who will win? Player of the game is Cole Kim. Aviators catcher in the loss here did play very well, though. San Antonio wins 8-1 over the Vancouver Vandals. What a day for Zane Cold. 2 home runs there. Zane Cold will be your player of the game in this one, helping San Antonio win on the road. Champions time. It's the Demons winning it, walking it off in the bottom of the 10th. Looks like Tony Gunk Jr. the hero. 1-0 victory for them. Low scoring game. What a pitcher's duel. Hugh Mann, your player of the game in this one. Detroit starter, no decision, but pitched well for 7 straight innings. Death Valley Scorpions win 2-1 over the Seattle Sea Serpents. Johnny Tsunami II will be your player of the game in this one, getting the win for the DVS squad. New Orleans Rougarou shut out the Cancun Toros. That's something I never thought I would say on stream. Looks like Manuel Bang, shout out to Leafer, hit a grand slam, and that was all the runs they needed. Player of the game in this one is Sportsboy57. I think that is win number 125 for him. Indianapolis Apex get the win over the Nashville Stars, 8-4. Mudcat Skelton, your player of the game in this one for the Apex as they get the win. Don't believe we have any minor league games. We do not. So we'll just keep it moving here. Double check on the schedule. Looks like we have a quick sim and then Space Rangers and Detroit as we're quickly working our way through the day. It's going to be, after this quick sim day, a Providence Crabs 4-3 victory over the Outer Banks Aviators. Player of the game in this one, Adij Mizar Cove of the Providence Crabs playing shortstop there. Buffalo Surge win over the New York Voyagers 7-4. 3 runs in the bottom of the 10th. Looks like De'Aaron Taylor with a 3-run bomb, your hero in this game. Again, be sure to get your prediction here. Lunar Base and Detroit is coming up next. I believe that's the final game of the 3-game series. Mio Hooper, your player of the game, no decision for the Buffalo Star, but they get the win nonetheless. Toronto Pathfinders win 10-3 over the Boise Raptors. It'll be Zach Johnson Jr., third baseman there for Toronto, getting player of the game in this one. San Antonio Sloss win 17-3. They put up 10 runs in the top of the 4th to seal it pretty much. Big victory for them over the Vancouver Vandals. Luigi Lanikai, your player of the game in this one for San Antonio. Everyone was slugging it, but Lanikai with a couple home runs, pretty good day. Champions time, it's the Toros getting a little revenge on New Orleans, 5-3 victory for them. Player of the game in this one, Matt Stroh, the Cancun starter, going 8 1/3, striking out 11. Space Rangers win just barely 2-1 over the Detroit Demons. We're going to see them up next. Allegra Macarena, your player of the game, Lunar Base starter, getting the dub. Nashville Stars win 1-0, shutting out the Indianapolis Apex. What a pitcher's duel we had here. Claudaddy, your player of the game for Nashville, getting the win in the start, nearly going the distance there. Maybe could have just kept him out there. And Seattle wins at home over the DVS team, 8-2. Death Valley here, the loss. Irma Gerd is your player of the game. Seattle's starting pitcher getting the win. Do a little minor league quick sim, and then we're about wrapped up for the day. It'll be California Firehawks winning 4-2 over the Amarillo Armadillos. Jeff Lumo, new fan, is going to be your player of the game in this one. Chicago Kingpins, 5-4 victory on the road against the Brew City Bears. Pedro Blanco will be your player of the game in this one. Hepcats win at home against Louisville 7-2. Everyone's kind of beating up on everyone here in the minors. Again, be sure to wager your channel points. No points on Detroit winning. They are the home team. They did win the first game of the 3-game series as well. Shaw Dynasty, your player of the game in this one, in the victory for the Hepcats. Wheelers win 5-3 over State College on the road. Both teams sitting at 29-29. Herbert Fisher, old Bert, the Anchorage starter, getting the player of the game, no winning decision here for him in this one. And the Flamingos with a big win. Probably would like to have those runs distributed across other games. 12 runs in the bottom of the fifth to win 17-3. That's a football score. Jefferson Steelflex will be your player of the game. What'd he do? He just, yeah, pretty good. 3 hits, pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Let's get to it. Final game of the day coming up. We have majors and we have minors, so let's do it. Quentin O'Quarters, HOR Hypocrites, pitching in this one. We have a tough matchup here. Both teams I definitely could see winning it, although it feels like Detroit doesn't do as well as they should maybe when I stream. So they're probably not looking forward to it if there's any demon enjoyers in chat. And it is kind of the night of the demon, isn't it? Still only see. I mean, my cool. I can bet. I can bet. But then you have to close prediction. I'll throw some channel points on there. Or you can bet and I'll close it. Don't matter. It's the last stream of the night. Or last game. Last prediction. Looks to be maybe in favor of the Space Rangers, but Demons play a lot of teams really tough a lot of the time. So stonks. There we go. There we go. All right, let's do it. Quentin O'Quarter, southpaw for the Demons, pitching against Arthur Morgan. Morgan hitting hot. See if it stays hot. I think he leads the PBE in home runs here. A little bit of a cooler day for baseball, but not bad here in Detroit. Arthur Morgan up first, going to ground out to the third baseman, and that is out number 1. Loud hit by Doggin Eminem. That's getting past the third baseman. 1 on, 1 out now for catcher Callie Alvarez. Alvarez going to fly out to right. That is out number 2.
Out of the park.
And then the fielder's choice that Allison Chains bounces out into will end it. No runs in the top of the first for the Space Rangers on a hit. Demons bats are up as HOR Hypocrites has his first victim. Granholm popping out just on the line there at
Strike
third.
3.
And then Stellan Apollo is going to strike out swinging. 2 down. Repeat Burnside. Giving this one a pretty good ride. Does it have enough? No, it's caught just in front of the wall. Out number 3. Skumina Holcavado is going to lead things off in the top of the second for the Space Rangers. And Holcavado bounces out to the third baseman. That's 1 down. Jeff Newman up, and Newman with a big hack strikes out swinging for out number 3. Cross Erickson's up. And Cross Erickson's going to ground out to the shortstop. 1-2-3. O'Quarters has the Space Rangers bats go. Kind of needed a quick inning like that, too. Had a pretty high pitch count after 1. Bottom of the second. Still no score in this one. The Demons won Game 1 of this 3-game series. The Space Rangers won Game 2. So this is the rubber match. Robbie Jackinson lines out to right for out number 2, bringing up Casey Vita. And Vita with a high pop-up. That ball went off the screen. Caught it at shortstop there by Boyant, who we're going to see lead things off here in the top of the third. Still nothing for either team in this one. Blair Boyant pops out to the catcher in foul territory. That's 1 down.
Strike 3.
And Rake in the Lake is going to strike out. 2 down. Arthur Morgan up, and Morgan can't get anything going. That is a ground out to the pitcher. 3 up, 3 down for the Space Rangers bats in the top of the third. We go to the bottom with Dachi Nakamura getting things off. Nakamura on the big hack strikes out swinging. 1 down for Tony Gunk Jr. Gunk Jr. I think was the hero in Game 1 with a walk-off. Bounces out to the second baseman for out number 2.
Strike 3.
Labor Torres is up, and Torres will strike out swinging. Demon's side of things is retired. We go to the top of the fourth with Dog and Eminem. Got a only hit today. Leading things off with a hit. Number 2 in the day for him. 1 on, nobody out for Callie Alvarez, who gets a single up the middle. Space Rangers trying to string something together. They got runners on first and second.
Strike
Allison
3.
Chains up, but a big hack and strikeout by Chains. 1 down. Skumina Holcavado is going to get a single to left. Do they send Dog and Eminem? No, he had to hold up a little bit. So, base juice, 1 out for Jeff Newman. High flying ball, might be enough for a sac fly. Newman is going to have the sac fly. Runner is safe. 2 down runners in the quarters now for Cross Erickson. And Erickson with a clutch hit up the middle. That is going to score 1. And actually, Alvarez is going to get, or Holcavado, excuse me, is going to get all the way to third. 2-0 lead now for the Space Rangers. Blair Boyant bounces out to the second baseman to end it. 2-0 lead now for Lunar Base as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Detroit trailing. Travis Granholm's up and will strike out swinging. HOR Hypocrites, fourth strikeout of the day. Stellan Apollo now. And Apollo, pretty hard hit ball, dead center, but caught just in front of the warning track by Erickson. 2 down. Larry B. Burnside on the big hack for Hypocrites' fifth strikeout through 4 full innings. We go to the top of the fifth. Larry B. Burnside, Raking the Lake, leading things off. And that is going to be a bounce out to the first baseman. That's 1 down. Raking the Lake, first one, and then Arthur Morgan, first hit of the day for him. That is a single to left. 1 on, 1 out for Dog and Eminem, but not after Morgan swipes second there. And then Dog and Eminem's going to get robbed of a hit. Diving grab in center by Travis Granholm. 2 down. Callie Alvarez strikes out, so the runner hangs out in scoring position, has nowhere else to go. 2-0 lead for Space Rangers still after 4.5. Bottom of the fifth we go. Dogwood leading things off, and Maple Dogwood's going to get robbed of a hit and right. Arthur Morgan laying out for it. Now Jackinson up, and that is going to be an error. But then the 5-4-3 double play cleans things up. So Jackinson reaches on an error, but doesn't even matter. Through 5 full innings, HOR Hypocrites has 5 strikeouts, no earned. Quentin O'Quarters flying out to right, that's 1, Allison Chains flying out to right, that's 1 down. Scumino Hokovado lines out to center, that's 2 down. Jeff Newman's up, and Newman will ground out to the shortstop directly behind second base. 1-2-3, the Demon Bats go. It'll be Dachi Nakamura leading things off here in the bottom of the 6th. Full count from Hypocrites, and that's a single up the middle. So 1 on, nobody out for Tony Gunk Jr.
Strike
Detroit
3.
has their first hit of the ball game. Gunk Jr. watches strike 3 go by. That'll bring up Glaber Torres. Torres will strike out swinging. HOR Hypocrites with 7 strikeouts now. Granholm with a base hit. That puts runners on first and second for Stellan Apollo. Full count. Runners moving on the pitch, and Apollo grounds out to the shortstop. End of the inning. 2-0 lead for the Space Rangers as we go to the 7th inning. Cross Erickson going to lead things off. And Cross Erickson's going to pop up to the second baseman. That's 1 down. Full count to Boyant as Quentin O'Quarter's still out there. Going to get Boyant to ground out to the shortstop. And then Raking the Lake on the big hack for O'Quarter's 5th strikeout through 7, He's given up 2 runs. Doesn't have much run support though. Bottom of the 7th. See if Larry B. Burnside can change that. HOR Hypocrite still out there, and Larry B. Burnside hot off the bat. Does it have enough? Yes, it does. Gone solo homer. 433 feet. And the Space Rangers, the Demons are on the board for 1. It's a 1-2 ball game. Maple Dogwood's up. Nobody out. Will fly out to left. That is 1 down. Robbie Jackinson up as Indianapolis has now entered the game. Jackinson trying to give this a ride, but it hangs way up in center. 2 down.
Strike
AC
3.
Vita will strike out swinging, so solid day for HOR Hypocrites. Polis coming in, getting a couple of bats out. We go to the 8th inning. Lunar Base trying to add some insurance. Just a 1-run lead here in this one on the road. Arthur Morgan's going to slice this one into foul territory, but it's caught by Dogwood and left. That's 1 down. Dog and Eminem rounds out to the third baseman. That's 2 down now. And then it's going to be Callie Alvarez flying out to center. 1-2-3, the Space Ranger bats go. Bottom of the 8th, we'll see what the Detroit Demons have in them. Dachi Nakamura up, and Nakamura's going to ground out to the second baseman. That's 1 out. Tony Gunk Jr., no hits today. Will continue to be hitless with a strikeout looking. Last 4 outs for the Demons. Glaber Torres is up. Will strike out looking as well. So Indianapolis slamming the door here in the 7th and 8th innings. Top of the 9th we go. Just a 1-run ball game. Could still go either way.
Strike 3.
Allison Chains on the big hack as Quentin O'Quarters is still out there. And Scumino Hokovado draws a walk. Newman up. And Newman with a big hack as Frigg Dellings entered the game. 2 down in the top of the ninth for Erickson. Erickson pops this one up into the stratosphere. It's caught by the shortstop on the pitcher's mound. 3 down in the top of the ninth. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Travis Granholm leading things off for the Demons. Has 1 hit today as Indiana Polis still out there. Gets Granholm to swing. It's 1 down. Stellan Apollo now will strike out looking. 2 down. Larry B. Burns had the last hope for the Demons. Down on the count 1-2. Grounds out to the second baseman to end it, and the Lunar Base Space Rangers win 2-1 in a pitcher's duel here in Detroit. HOR Hypocrite's going to be your player of the game in this one. Pitched really well. Let's take a look at the rest of the league here. It looks like it's going to be a 5-3 victory for the Aviators over the Providence Crabs. James Daly, your player of the game in this one. Bullpen let him down, though. Aviators win on the road. Vancouver Vandals win 7-2 over the San Antonio Sloths. Nate Brittle's going to be your player of the game here in this contest. Pathfinders win 4-0 over the Boise Raptors. What can I say except you're welcome? Another player of the game here gets the win. New York Voyagers win 10-2 over the Buffalo Surge. TGP, your player of the game in this one for the Voyagers in the win. The Scorpions and Sea Serpents, Death Valley getting the victory here. Rake Slammer, your player of the game in this one, helping the DVS get the win. Cancun winning 11-1 over the New Orleans Rougarou. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, your player of the game in this one. And finally, Stars win 3-1 over the Indianapolis Apex. Krispy Kreme, starter for the Nashville Stars, going to get the win here in this contest and is your player of the game. Let's take a look at the minor league matchups. Swift Steeds win 8-4 over the Anchorage Wheelers. Yoshi Yoshironi, your player of the game in this one, helping State College get the victory. Florida Flamingos win 8-2 over the Puerto Rico Ranas. Jefferson Steelflex, your player of the game in this one. Chicago Kingpins 4-1 victory over the Brew City Bears. Jose 43, the Chicago starter, getting the dub and player of the game in this one. Kansas City Hepcats win 6-5 over the Louisville Lemurs. Sobert Randberg, your player of the game in this one, hitting for the Lemurs. And finally, the California Firehawks win 5-3 over the Amarillo Armadillos. Your player of the game in this one is Retzno. It's another cove. It's just another cove. All right. And that is it for the day. We're through this pretty fast. We'll get this going and we'll be on our way. All right. Hey, not space. My favorite candy is free candy. That's my favorite. Looks like you also have me for tomorrow's games. So lucky everyone here and everyone watching tomorrow. Thinking I'm might do a different time, might do an hour earlier. Not sure yet. As we're just about done uploading here. I don't know what it is, but this last little bit of the stream or of the upload always just makes the computer work a little bit more. It's just really working that processor, I guess. Doesn't help that my processor is probably way too large for my PC build, but that's a different issue. How many lost stream files in PBE history? I don't even know what that means. Yeah, I guess it was a pretty quick one because there weren't a lot of games. It was basically like I mean most teams they only played like most teams only played like five games, maybe some minor league played six, I don't know for sure. Stream completed, game crash, everything's negated. I don't know if that's ever happened before or not. I'm not really sure. If it has, it had been before my time. I mean, I think as long as you save, even if it crashes, you're still fine. Um, you can just try to re-upload. So, like, if you save and the game crashes, you should still be able to get in, load it, and try to upload. But, yeah, depends. Alright, we're just finishing up the upload process. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And I will see you all tomorrow, I guess.